Parul Parwar. I'm a strategy leader in the finance industry. And today I'll be talking to you about scaling AI in finance with the focus on ML ops strategies, which are behind the 70.86 billion market transformation. We focus on how production grade ML ops infrastructure is enabling financial institutions to deploy reliable, compliant, and profitable AI systems in the world's most regulated industry. Let's quickly talk through the financial revolution and the detailed numbers behind it. 85% of the financial institutions are deploying AI systems today, transforming everything from risk assessment to customer service. 78.6, a number I previously mentioned, is the market size by 2030 for this industry. This is the projected value of AI applications in financial services, representing massive investment in infrastructure. 1,000 plus, that's a big number, but those are the credit variables that are processed in real time by modern financial ML systems for decision making. And then millions of daily transactions happen, and those are analyzed by fraud detection AI with required high accuracy and minimal latency. Latency just means the time required to do those. As you can see, then, financial institutions aren't just experimenting with AI, they're deploying at scale and then driving a fundamental transformation of the industry's core operations. For today's agenda, we will focus on ML ops of financial industry. There'll be three things that we'll cover. One, unique challenges in financial AI, which are regulatory compliance, model explainability, data security, and the real-time processing requirements that distinguish finance from the other machine learning domains. Second, we'll talk about the production grade machine learning operations architecture, which includes the technical components required for scalable, reliable AI systems in banking, insurance, and fintech environments. And then lastly, we'll talk through some actionable strategies, which are practical frameworks and approaches for transitioning from prototype to production powerhouse. What are the unique challenges of AI in financial industries? There are four different pieces that we cover. One, regulatory compliance. All models must satisfy the regulatory requirements, primarily FCRA, ECOA, GDPR, and the Basel standards while providing full audit trails. Then there's explainability requirements, where customers and regulators are entitled to understand the decision factors that go behind the ML models, including like adverse action notices, how this comes into play. Then there's market volatility. Models experience rapid performance degradation during economic shifts. And lastly, there's adversarial threats, where fraud detection systems often face sophisticated attackers actively working to circumvent these detections. So, how does financial ML ops differ from the standard practices? There's unique demands of the financial services industry, which require specialized ML ops capabilities that go far beyond standard ML engineering practices. The standard machine learning operation includes a basic model versioning, has simple A/B testing, has general purpose feature stores, has standard CI/CD pipelines, and then basic monitoring dashboards, as well as a general on-purpose infrastructure which can be applicable across different industries and places. However, for financial ops, given the challenges we discussed earlier, we need immutable audit trails with regulatory metadata. We need a champion challenger with segment isolation. We need time series optimized feature stores with point-in-time correction. We need compliance integrated deployment workflows. We need segment level performance monitoring with diff detection. We need secure isolated infrastructure with control access patterns. As you can see, financial institutions that attempt to implement AI without specialized MLOps infrastructure will face regulatory challenges, model failures, and often security vulnerabilities if they're using standard MLOps. Let's then talk through what is required for machine learning operations architecture for the financial services industry. A robust financial MLOps platform integrates specialized components to address the unique challenges of the industry while enabling reliable, scalable AI operations. Each component must be designed with regulatory compliance, security, and auditability as a foundation requirement rather than afterthoughts. What are the components? A big chunk of that is the data foundation. You want your data to have three different kind of qualities. One, it should be a financial feature store, where what that means is a specialized for-time data with point-in-time correctness, which guarantees critical for accurate back testing and regulatory compliance. It needs to support thousands of variables per customer, version feature definitions with lineage, and then batch and online serving capabilities. You also need to make sure that you have a secure data access layer, which means you have role-based controls with fine-grained permissions and comprehensive audit logging. This should follow the data minimization principles. It needs to make sure the personal information is handled via tokenization, so no one has access to PII information. You need to have access. You need to ensure there's encryption at rest and in transit. And then lastly, there's the data quality framework. You want to make sure the data is automatically validated with strict schema enforcement and anomaly detection. You need to have statistical profile monitoring, data drift detection, integrity constraints validation. The second component of the MLOps is the model development. For that, you need regulatory compliant experimentation, tracking frameworks that capture all model development activities with required regulatory metadata, fair lending analysis integration, disparate impact assessment, model cards with regulatory context. Then, as previously mentioned, you need to make sure there's explainability toolkit, where you have a pre-approved method for generating customer and regulatory facing information, which relates to adverse action code generation, SHAP and LIME integration, as well as counterfactual explanation systems. There are 4 stages now to the deployment and operations. One is the validation gateway, where you ensure there's pre-deployment verification, which ensures that the model meets performance, fairness, and compliance standards. Then, within that, you have to make sure you have the champion challenge analysis, stress testing across market scenarios, sensitivity analysis on key segments. The second is compliance integrated CI, where you want to make sure you have the deployment pipelines, have the required approvals, documentation, and the various validation steps. You want to ensure there is immutable audit trail of deployments, role-based deployment controls, automated regulatory documentation. Thirdly, you want to make sure there's segment-aware monitoring. So you ensure at a segment level there's performance tracking, especially for critical customer segments, and they're alerting for regulatory concerns. Within that, you need to have granular performance dashboards, drift detection by segment, and then outlier analysis for high-value transactions. Lastly is the automated retraining. You want to make sure you have a scheduled or trigger-based retraining with validation guardrails, so that when there's like a market volatility aware scheduling, like a COVID-19 scenario, you get a trigger. You also want to make sure there's validation gated promotions and then training dataset versioning, so that after every trigger, your training datasets get updated. As you can see, each stage you need to enforce compliance requirements, and this has to be done while enabling operational efficiency. Lastly, for the implementation strategy, you want to make sure you have a phased approach. Again, there are 4 phases. The phase 1 is the foundation, where you build core infrastructure, which is focused on data quality, governance, and basic model tracking. Within that, you want to make sure you implement feature store with regulatory compliance built in, establish experiment tracking with required documentation, create secure development environments with appropriate control. In phase 2, which is a production pipeline, you will develop automated workflows for work model training, validation, and deployment. Within that, you will have to build a compliance integrated CI/CD pipeline, implement validation gateways with regulatory checks, create model registry with approved workflows. And then coming to the third part, which is operational excellence, where you want to make sure not only is your model compliant and ready to go, but it is actually contributing to the firm. You will establish comprehensive monitoring and automated retraining, deploy segment-aware performance monitoring, implement drift detection and alerting, and then create automated retraining pipelines and validation gates. And the last is where you take a model from not just being good, but to being an industrial leader. You focus on the advanced capabilities. You add sophisticated features for optimization and scaling. Within that, you focus on you will implement multi-arm banded systems for model selection, deploy shadow mode testing for new models, and then create adaptive monitoring thresholds by segment so that you can constantly evolve and upgrade your model. We've talked through some of this previously, but I want to highlight what are the common pitfalls and how you can avoid them as you enter the space of MLOps for your financial institution. Don't underestimate the regulatory requirements. Often, the problem is that firms discover compliance gaps late in the development, which forces expensive rework. The solution is to engage compliance teams from day one and then build regulatory requirements into technical specifications. Secondly, we've talked about this a couple of times now, but there is a concern about inadequate explainability. The problem often arises when the firms are unable to provide required explanations for model decisions in regulatory timeframes. The solution? Simple. Integrate explainability methods during model development and not as an afterthought. So if you start thinking during the model itself how you can explain it to regulators and customers. Thirdly, which is the insufficient segment monitoring. It basically means that if your model is working well overall, but you might be missing degradation in critical customer segments, despite the overall good performance of the model. The solution is to implement granular monitoring across demographic, behavioral, and product segments. Lastly, it's the poor handling of market volatility. Sometimes models are made for steady state markets, but they collapse during economic shifts like a COVID-19 and lead to poor performances. So the solution is to implement stress testing across historical scenarios and ensure that you have responsive retraining triggers. With that, let me recall all the pieces that we've talked about and summarize that into the four major takeaways to build production-grade financial MLOps. 1. Compliance is infrastructure. Your compliance underpins everything. So you want to build regulatory requirements directly into the MLOps components rather than adding them later. Second, segment level everything. While your model might look good overall, you want to make sure you're designing all systems to operate at the segment level for deployment, development, and monitoring, and not as an afterthought. Third, explainability by design. You want to integrate explanation systems from the beginning of the development process so that when your model is complete, you are able to answer any questions related to that. And then lastly, resilient architecture. You want to build systems that can meet performance through market volatility and data shifts. These are the four underlying pillars of how you would build an ML model, MLOps. Anything else? Thank you.